Oh man, did you fart?
Yeah.
Ah.
Now it's in your nose.
Oh, it is in my nose. Oh.
Because it comes from here, then here, then here, then here. Then I farted.
Why are we in my kids' playroom? In this disaster zone?
It's a question.
Why? Yeah, it's a question. Why are we in this disaster zone?
Because we here to clean up.
Shh! Don't tell! Don't tell! Don't tell! Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Steve, and in today's video I had originally wanted to work on fixing the two tables that I use to build Brickadelphia on top of. They're those really strong, sturdy IKEA tables crafted from some of the finest materials on planet Earth. Actually, no, they're not. I wanted to reinforce them because I had noticed the one that I have the majority of my city on top of, it's starting to bow a little bit. What I originally wanted to do was to take everything off of those tables, the base plates, the buildings, the roads, all that stuff, move all of that into my kids' playroom, right on the floor, along with everything underneath the tables. I have a bunch of Lego boxes, a backlog of unopened sets, just a bunch of stuff under there. Have to move that out as well. The room that I have my Legos in, it's pretty small, so there's not a whole lot of room to work around. So I was going to take the tables out, flip them over, put more legs on them. And I actually have more legs. I've got them right here. Once the city was moved out of the room and the tables and all that stuff was out, I've got some green acoustic foam there on the wall, right there. It's starting to come loose, actually. It's starting to come off of the wall. So since all that stuff was out of the way, I was going to use the opportunity to fix that. As you can see, just a Pandora's box of things that just one after another, I'd have to, once I do this, I'd have to do this, I'd have to do this. So, and actually one perk about having a YouTube channel, my kids really like being in my videos. So I thought, two birds, one stone. My kids want to be in the video. Let's go ahead and extort some, extort, that might be a bad word. Let's change that up. Let's have them clean up the room. I'll record it. I'll throw it in there. But that didn't end up working out. By the time I got around to actually wanting to move everything out there, my kids messed up the room again. Now my kids' playroom is notorious for just being messy all the time. It's very hard to keep clean. In fact, a couple of years ago, I left my kids alone for maybe 20 minutes or so, unsupervised. I came back downstairs, and as you can see, they destroyed this room. Take a look. All the books on the bookshelf were taken out and thrown on the floor. There's like a shelving unit next to the bookshelf. They actually managed to collapse that onto the ground. Some of the baseboards on the walls were taken off. All of the toys were thrown out of the bins onto the floor. And really, I mean, they did a nice job of like consolidating it all into one spot. I could have just like burned it all up right there in that pile, but probably not the safest course of action. So instead of doing all that work, plus re-cleaning probably by myself, yeah, I decided to go in a little bit of a different direction and just rearrange a couple things in Brickadelphia. So let's go ahead, head on over to Brickadelphia, and I'll show you what I plan to do. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to add an entire base plate between the diner and the cinema. So that base plate will go to the right of the diner, and I'll slide everything over to the right, one entire base plate. So moving everything over to the right introduces another problem, which is the assembly square is now going to be hanging off of the side of the table. So we're going to break assembly square into two pieces. For those of you that don't know, assembly square is built on 1.5 base plates. There's a full 32 by 32 base plate on the left side underneath the blue building and the sand green flower shop. and then the right side of the building has a 16 by 32 base plate. So really, to break apart assembly square, what you have to do is you have to switch the base plates around. The 16 by 32 base plate on the right side actually can fit nicely underneath the blue building, and then the 32 by 32 base plate goes underneath the two buildings on the right. There was a little arch connecting assembly square all together. I just decided, since we broke them apart, that I would take those arches out and just fill them in with some 1x1 bricks. I decided to take this door out and patch it up with a wall. There was a light above the door. Decided to take that out also. Save those pieces for something else. I just made a new building called the Busty Crustacean, and that thing has a lot of sand green in it. So I thought I'd change the sand green above the flower shop to lime green. Did I make the right call? Should I change it back? What do you guys think? All right, with the assembly square base plate situation all squared away. Ooh, assembly square, squared away. That's a thing, right? Square. Square. We're going to open up. We're going to shift everything down 32 studs. We'll pop in the bigger section of assembly square. Things are going to quickly take shape. So I've actually decided to move the diner all together. We're going to swap spots with the corner garage. I think it works well in that spot. Rotating it 90 degrees, you still can see the nice side of it. What do you guys think? Quite the change to Brickadelphia. A couple things. The area in front of the flower shop. I'm just not sure if I want to keep the fountain there. Something else that I could put there instead. The lime green above the flower shop. Is that color just too overpowering? I mean, there's not a whole lot of it there. Does it just look horrible next to the dark orange of the corner garage. There's a whole new front line to the city. The corner garage, Assembly Square, and the cinema. Do those 3 to 4 buildings work well together? One thing that I do like about this is now that I've shifted everything over to the right, the blue building from Assembly Square, when you get over to this angle, you've got a nice finished corner building right above that transition. You know, I do have plans for that transition. I think that this building, the way it is with the windows and all, the front facade, I think it looks good like that. Another positive thing that I like about this change to Brickadelphia, I've opened up more room behind the front row of buildings to put maybe 2 or 3 buildings behind there instead of just like a skinnier, smaller one. So that's good. So yeah, nothing's set in stone yet. I know that I do like Palace Cinema on that corner. Lego cities are always changing, and Brickadelphia is no exception. Let me know what you guys think. What changes do you like? What changes don't you like? What changes would you make? So anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I've got other videos on my channel. Maybe watch some of those. Subscribe if you wanna. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Oh, lime. Yes, lime green periodic table. This thing's pretty cool. I just got it.